Hello, my name is Joseph Forts, and this is my discussion 2 video forum for JUS 436, my class in Applied Criminological Theory. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be talking about the criminal gene and the twin adoption studies and what we learned from them. So there are many ways to describe a criminal gene. According to Dr. Levitt with the Royal Society of Biology, some define MAOA, which is referred to in our text as the warrior gene, as a criminal gene, though while within the context of the twin and adoption studies, the criminal gene more refers to the possible genetic predisposition to criminality. So the text states that the twin studies were studies conducted that focus mostly on identical twins, mainly due to their increased genetic similarity as opposed to fraternal twins. So during the twin studies, Christensen's researched using the official twin registry of Denmark and found 6,000 twins from 1881 to 1910, and who both lived to the age of 15. Of those 6,000 pairs, he discovered 67 cases in which one of the two male identical twins were convicted of a crime. In 35.8% of these cases, the other twin had a criminal history as well. This criminal concordance, as the text calls it, drops to 12.3% in fraternal male twins and 21.4% in female fraternal twins. Christensen also noted that the concordance is higher for more serious crimes. The text states, however, that the main issues with this study are that it doesn't take into account the similar environments identical twins are often brought up in. This was solved by Grove and Christensen, who narrowed the research pool to identical twins who were separated at birth. And while the sample size was smaller, it also showed evidence that antisocial behavior can be inherited. But another large issue brought up by the text has to do with more modern research, with many current researchers arguing that the criminal concordance has more to do with the similar environmental factors of those who are socially related as opposed to their heritage. So next up are the adoption studies. According to this text, these studies were done by Hutchings and Mednick using records of all non-family male adoptions in Copenhagen between 1927 and 1941. They grouped the boys by if they had a criminal record or not, and then looked to see if their biological father had a criminal record or not. They discovered that 31.1% of the boys who had no criminal record had a father with a record. But they also discovered that 37.7% of boys with minor offenses and 48.8% of boys with major offenses had fathers with criminal records. They then narrowed their field uh, to boys with major offenses who had been born after 1889 to make sure that police reports were more accurate, and discovered that the criminal adoptees had a higher percentage of both having a criminal adoptive father, which was 23%, and a criminal biological father, which is 49%. There are also a few limitations listed to this research, however. For example, the text states that most of the crimes researched were petty offenses as opposed to major ones. So the similarity can be explained by saying that petty crimes are committed more often, unless that uh, there is a hereditary factor there. Additionally, James Cook of the University of Maine Augusta found that while the biological father does appear to influence criminality, these studies also do not account for the environmental factors that do as well. So, in short, what we can learn from these studies is that there is a potential for a biological predisposition to criminality, but in my opinion, there's simply too much maybe to certainly conclude that there is a criminal gene. All right, thanks. Have a nice day.